Captain's Log, Entropy Valmorgan, Entry 23. It's been a long time since I opened up about the events that happened back then, but I think I'm ready again. My mission is to destroy the free folks, or at least cripple them so that they can't function normally. The cat and mouse game with them has been going on for a long time. We go in their space and hunt them, and they hide behind sinos or duck up. And when they feel strong, they'll throw some bait in our space, trying to engage us that way. But the progress was more felt than seen. It was in the mood, it was in the morale, it was in their drive. They were starting to get tired and less determined, while I was unrelenting. Our numbers were getting better too, so they had more threats to watch out for. They had some local support from new pirates, new PvPers that came to the area, but so did Patchwork. I recall this fight specifically. It was probably one of the last important fights we had with free folks. I failed to bush the Logi, should get better at that. I succeeded on my second try. We, with the help of some of our friends, managed to kill the Sin, among other things, and push free folks out of Deacon at that time. It was a morale victory in a war of attrition, though I can remember countless other fights where we fought a bit, bailed, came back later. A true cat and mouse game. But it's a game I would not miss. I was feeling tired too, sometimes wondering what's the point? A long war of attrition where the enemy just runs most of the time. But I was determined to finish it. And if there's any moment I remember gladly and proudly, is one when I fought Serena and Wheezy, two of my enemies at the same time, in front of everyone that I stood by. Yeah, that was a good day.
I say, what is it good for? What is it good for?
With a dying breath, the last free folks could be seen flying around. Serena, their leader, stopped showing up as before. It was a clear sign of them giving up, slowly. And while it's hard to say exactly what made them tip over the edge of failure, I like to think I played a big part in it, but not the only part. Let me introduce you the character known as NCC. Sensing the weakness that was inside the ranks of free folks, he decided to seed rebellion in a way. Sensing the unhappiness of some members under the rule of Serena, he decided to support them, and in that they created a new corporation called What If. This was the final breath of free folks effectively, as almost half of their members have switched to this new corporation under the rule of Chad Winnings. Because I or Serena never followed NCC blindly, he decided to create a new type of pet out of their ranks, one who would obey him. We tried Diplo at first, and Patchwork was blue with What If, with the idea that they will never be what free folks were back in the day. This marked the almost 1-year campaign to destroy free folks, and now it was done. My debt to Serena was paid in full. But where one enemy falls, another will rise. For you see, NCC was sort of a godfather figure as he saw himself around Deacon. And after he helped us defend our home base in Hisag, Marsara, he then proceeded to kill me, breaking a direct blue. And this was done in low-sec using his carrier on the Deacon undock. I suspect the reason was because he no longer needed me, so to speak. And as I terminated my blue standing with What If, his direct loyal subject, in his mind it was time for Entropy to step out of the scene. After the incident, he intentionally wanted me to know that he never liked me, that I'm just Eurotrash like the rest of them. He has supported pirate lords and all our enemies behind us so that we'll eventually leave and fail. He effectively wanted Free Folks eliminated as well, just so that he can run his little shell game, his little show in Deacon, where they pretend to be bullies. I was no stranger to how toxic Galente Lose can be. This was just another example of it. With Free Folks gone and new enemies forming, as well as some of the old enemies that were still poking us, mostly stragglers or people that had a vendetta against Entropy. We were looking to make friends as well, and Patchwork eventually joined what was called the Solitude Coalition. I witnessed the rise and fall of a coalition plagued by organizational mistakes, bad leadership, and a hype train mentality that can't be sustained. I'll show you a little clip that I think summarizes the experience perfectly.
Take it! Take it! Take it! Take it!
Oh fuck.
I jumped the Titan. Fuck.
You jumped the Titan?
Frigate fleet.
Okay.
Cersis, should...
Keep comms clear. Shut up. Shut up. Siege green. Okay, Moros is primary broadcasting. Moros is primary. K Alex is primary. Secondary after that's going to be Phoenix Killerman broadcasting. Carriers get newts on Revelations now.
Triage.
Solis is next.
Rage Sterling.
Lock up Tony Spax. Casting. Oh, we need more dreads in here. If you got dreads, bring them in. Killerman's next, guy. Carriers, you need to be on him. Carriers, put your DPS on Killerman.
The Titan did live that day, and while there were many mistakes in running and operating Solitude Coalition, I have to say I did have fun participating and running ops with them, so I appreciate that. After a brief period of silence, it was time to shake the foundation of Patchwork once more. Plow was always a presence around Salem, poking back and forth with us, but this time they wanted to return for good. They came back in full in Salem, moving in to their old home. The trash talk started immediately. They put up mobile depots and such with adverts that I've stole money, that I'm a bad leader, and all the usual propaganda that they do. So I had a decision on my mind and in my hands. Do I stay and fight? Do I prolong a conflict that's been going on for way too long against an opponent that I probably can't win against? Or do I make a big change that ultimately benefit my group and maybe even starve Plow of a bit of content and drama they were expecting with their return? So I gathered my council and we talked about what are the best options and what can we do in this situation. It wasn't long before we reached a consensus. It was time to go. It was time to put behind all the drama, all the toxicity, the harassment and the bullshit we've been facing in Galente Losec. We've achieved our goal. We put Free Folks to their knees, so our mission was complete here. We wanted bright new skies to fly in, better opportunities, and maybe a bit of a quiet space to clear our minds and heads. It was time for a new place to be called home. Mar is our new home, and it's a great place for us. It's peaceful, has plenty of resources, and we made new friends. I don't know how our story will unfold here in this new, bright golden sky, but I do know those that turned coat, backstabbed, and tried to destroy us when we were down. And I'm coming for you all.